Tonight, this group gathered at the Texas Capitol to speak out against police brutality wherever it happens. One held this sign that read "Solidarity with Ferguson." People in cities across the country held similar events this evening. Participants at this vigil say if we want peaceful streets, people need to get involved.
I think it can be very scary for people to talk about things like police brutality, but the truth is it's going to persist if we don't address it.
Some of the people there tonight held signs criticizing the Austin Police Department for controversial police shootings. And here's a closer look at some of those Austin cases. The most recent was the death of Larry Jackson Jr. That happened in July of 2013. The unarmed man was shot after running from the scene of a bank robbery. A now former detective faces manslaughter charges in that case. In 2011, Byron Carter was shot and killed in the passenger seat of a car. The officer said he was afraid for his partner's life when the car started moving toward them. In 2009, Nathaniel Sanders was killed after he was confronted while sleeping in a car. The officer said he fired after Sanders made a move toward a gun. KXAN's David Scott spoke with two local law enforcement leaders who tell him the keys to avoiding problems is building local relationships and reacting to situations with a measured response.
Remember the street unrest after the 2009 police shooting of Nathaniel Sanders, the anger after the 2012 shooting of Ahmed Bradley. Things could have gotten really ugly. Margot Frazier, Austin Police Monitor and one-time Travis County Sheriff, says one key to peace comes before the trouble.
I think what's most important is that you have already established the relationships beforehand so that you can turn to your community partners to help you deal with the issue and urging them to help us calm folks so that situations didn't get out of hand, and quite frankly, through their efforts, things got back under control rather quickly.
Cedar Park Police Chief Sean Mannix also believes community relationships are vital. 20 years at APD, including Assistant Chief, he remembers near riots along 6th Street calmed down by a measured response.
And during those times, we'd have a lot of officers out on the street, but they didn't look like riot cops. Once things start to escalate, though, there comes a time when you do have to don protective gear and, ensure the safety, of the officers.
Chief Mannix believes do what you have to do, but don't overreact with provocative force. Call in neighboring police if need be, but rely on the military guard as a last resort. David Scott, KXAN News.
And in the wake of police shooting cases in this area, there has been a big push to make the investigations more transparent. After a KXAN investigative report aired in April of last year, the police union and the city council agreed to make findings from the Citizens Review panel public. The panel is made up of locals, and its mission is to look at each case independently. Now those reports are made public once the criminal investigation is complete.